Hi everybody, Al Bernstein here with another one of our quick hits videos. And on this one, I'm going to kind of revisit this past weekend when I was in Birmingham, Alabama, and the fans came out in large numbers to see their hometown or home state hero, Deontay Wilder, take on Eric Molina. Now, the atmosphere leading up to this fight was great. All week there, there was just a buzz throughout the state, and it was really fascinating. And at the end of the day, 9,000 fans would fill the Bartow Arena in Birmingham, 60 miles from Tuscaloosa, where Wilder was born and where his family is. And it was a terrific atmosphere for this fight of fans that were very, very enthused. Now, Eric Molina, who came into this fight as a severe underdog, many people doubted whether he was truly a top 10 contender, as the WBC had him rated. Wouldn't be the first time an organizational body rated someone in the top 10, and it was questionable at best. But Eric Molina came in with the idea he was going to prove them wrong, the critics, that is, and make a good fight of it. Well, lo and behold, even though Deontay Wilder was doing very well early in this fight, Eric Molina would do a very good job, especially in round 3. He hurt Wilder with a left hook and created some very tense moments for the Wilder camp and for the fans on hand there. Now, Wilder would go on to knock Molina down 4 times in this fight and would ultimately knock him out and should flash the power that we know that Wilder has. And when the fight was going on, you got the sense that Wilder was leaving open for his skeptics and for the people that will look at it with a glass half full view, the idea that they will say, he should have had Eric Molina out of there earlier and should not have struggled with him even in the moments that he did struggle with him. And by the way, Eric Molina not only landed just that one left hook, he did some great body work in this fight and had his moments. Although Wilder won virtually every round, and again, with the 3 knockdowns that preceded the final knockdown, had both a 10-8 and 10-7 round. So this fight happens, and of course, in the boxing world, people tend to overreact either way. And as I said, in this fight, you can look at it as a glass half full or glass half empty situation for Wilder. Clearly, he won this fight. Clearly, he won most of the fight. And you can look at it either as him underachieving slightly or Molina overachieving. The fact that Molina hung in the fight that long, many people believed it would be a 1 or 2 or maybe 3 round fight. And it could be a combination of both, that Wilder underachieved a little bit and Molina overachieved. Either way, Deontay Wilder came away with a win, came away with a knockout, and his express continues rolling. As it rolls, though, it will next roll into the depot of Alexander Povetkin, who is the mandatory challenger for the IBF title that Wilder holds. This is a whole different kettle of fish than Eric Molina. Povetkin has only lost 1 fight as a professional. That was a 12-round decision loss to Vladimir Klitschko. Povetkin is 35. He is a veteran, but he still has something left in the tank. And that will be, I think, a fight where we will also get a good idea of where Deontay Wilder is at this point. What Wilder did show in this fight was the same kind of power that we'd seen, and in fact, kind of added a wild card, because we saw, as we had seen in the Stavern fight, a left hook with power from him. And in this fight against Molina, he used that left hook even more than he did against Stavern, and in a way had to, because Molina was doing a pretty good job of avoiding the straight right hands. So coming out of this fight, 2 things are clear. Eric Molina comported himself with great valor and fought the fight of his life, even in losing. And Deontay Wilder gets himself a win and makes himself look like what I end up feeling is the best of all worlds for the boxing world, and in a way for the person who's champion. When you are seen as a slightly vulnerable champion, it makes it even more intriguing for everyone to want to fight you, for the fans to want to see you. And I would actually throw out there a gentleman who Wilder's certainly not on his level yet, but Larry Holmes was a fascinating champion because Larry appeared vulnerable. You know, he was knocked down a number of times in his fights. Everyone kept thinking the next guy might be the one that gets to him. And yet he was a superb fighter and kept winning and defending his heavyweight title. So in a sense, that's Wilder has the same kind of persona in that we see him in this fight, and maybe we'll see others where he shows vulnerabilities but gets the job done. And it raises the expectations of the fights with him and makes it kind of interesting to watch him. And again, his next outing will be against Alexander Povetkin, who is the mandatory challenger. A quick word about the fans in Birmingham, Alabama. Never been a championship match of any kind in Birmingham. There were 2 championship fights that night. Jose Pedraza took on Andrei Klimov for a junior lightweight title. And that's the one that really fascinates me because Pedraza put on a very good performance and won. It was a fairly one-sided fight, but it had its moments. And the fans there, who were there, let's face it, for the Wilder fight, and many of whom probably were casual fans that hadn't really been to a boxing match, they were engaged the whole evening. They were interested. They were enthusiastic. And the interesting thing is they appreciated the effort of Pedraza and Klimov as well in the previous fight, which didn't have to be the case. So, and their hospitality down there to everyone was terrific. So I think one thing you can say also, the first excursion of Deontay Wilder into Birmingham, Alabama to defend his title in his home state, as he promised he would do, was certainly a success, not just from an artistic level, and some would say it was about a 70% success artistically, but certainly was a success in terms of the business side of it and the overall perspective of what happened. So we'll watch to see what's next for Deontay Wilder as he continues to make his way in the heavyweight division, a heavyweight division that now is gaining life here in the United States and certainly does have life all over the world with big fights throughout this coming year.